Hey everyone, it's Bree from Bree Marie Plans. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Today, I'm going to be walking you through how I created this vision board for my 2026 planner. I use Pinterest to source all these photos based off of what I want my 2026 to look like and the goals that I have. Then I walk you through how I make the collage in Canva, which is a free software. And then lastly, I show you, the settings I use to print it out and the materials I use to paste it into my planner. I absolutely love how this vision board turned out, and it feels very me and very authentic. And I have a lot of goals for 2026, wellness, professional, a whole multitude of things. So I'm really excited to get to work on them, and I'm really excited to just have them in the front and center every time I look at my planner. So showing you a little sneak peek of what it'll look like at the end, but now let's go to Pinterest. So when it comes to sorting out what I want on my vision board, I start with, okay, what are the things that I want to be present in my life in 2026? What sort of activities do I want to take part in? What sort of self-care tasks do I want to do? What sort of professional development stuff do I want to work on? And then I basically just type in like reading aesthetic or work aesthetic or yoga aesthetic into Pinterest and then just find some photos that I like, save them to my board, and I save multiple from like every single category of things that I look up. And then eventually I'll walk you through how I go about deciding which pictures to keep and which ones to get rid of. But first, we're looking at this. It's really simple. I love Pinterest. There's so many great photos. And for me, having great photos can really make me more motivated to do something, especially when my vision board looks cute. And vision board is a great thing to just, visually have instead of just writing down your goals. It's great to just be able to look at a picture and be like, okay, these are the things that I want to work on. So right now, we're looking at walking aesthetic because I want to have more movement incorporated into my life in 2026. You'll see eventually that we've got some yoga stuff that I'm wanting to do as well, but more walking and time outside is also something I'm really looking forward to and wanting to implement. This one is just budgeting. Now that I'm working as a therapist and out of school, probably forever, I think forever, I finally really have an opportunity to take hold of my finances and figure out what I want to save for and what my financial goals truly are for the future. And a thing that makes me want to actually work on those goals is having a cute picture in my vision board. It's, not a revolutionary concept, but it's something that I think is so, so important, which is why I'll recommend creating a vision board to literally anyone. I think it's so important to be able to visualize your goals. So now I'm just showing you all of the pins that I have on this 2026 vision board on my Pinterest. Now, this is where I'm starting, and from here, I'm going to be kind of paring down the images that I use based off of I'm going to get rid of ones like this that just don't totally seem to match the aesthetic or the vibe that I'm going for. And this year I was looking for some like blue tones and neutral tones and nothing too dark. So like the darker pictures I'm getting rid of, the ones that feel too busy I'm getting rid of. Um yeah, I mean this is your vision board, so you can make it as aesthetic to your taste as you want, and also getting rid of like the really blue, like white blue tone things. But this is what I end up with, and I think it's a nice mix of like warm and cool tones with blue, and yeah, it's just really nice. So now this is where I'm going into each photo that I want to incorporate into my vision board and just downloading it from Pinterest. A lot of the times these are really high quality images, but really for our purposes here, you don't need something that's super high quality. But even the ones that I wasn't sure whether I was going to use or not, I still downloaded them because I'd rather just delete them if I didn't use them. So here's me creating this. For my planner, it's a Sterling Ink Common Planner for 2026. It's a 5.5 by 8-inch size, which is the A5 size. So that's what I'm working with. Obviously, you want to, tailor it to the size that your planner is. But now I'm going to show you where you go to upload these images that you've downloaded. So here, if you go, into wherever you saved your images, then you can just grab them all at once and upload them to Canva, and it'll take a little bit for them to kind of load in and, be good quality, but not super long. It's actually quite quick. And now you're going to get to see the process of me adding all of these photos into this page and kind of just playing around with the layout and figuring out what I want to do. So these first one or two that I'm adding, it's going to be in just real time, regular time, but I'm starting with this yoga one. I really love the green. It goes really well with the like colorish vibe that I'm going with for this year, but I really just choose a starting point and go, okay, we'll plop this here and see how it goes. Then this quote, I was going to put it in the top right corner, but then I was like, you know what? This is one that's really important to me to remember for this year. So I think I want to put that in the middle and just have the text be in the forefront so you can change up where things are getting layered and the size and all those sorts of things you can change up on Canva, which is super great. You can also crop images. Like in that top left photo, there were some like baby things, and that's not what I wanted that photo for. So I just cropped it out. But now it's really just bringing the photos in and playing around with, where things fit best. And, this can be a really fun and artistic process if you're into that sort of thing and you're into being patient. And your first one may not come out the way you want it to, and that's okay. You can always try it again. Um, but I think a big thing here is that it's important to have fun while you're doing this because that's going to make us want to work on our goals even more instead of, being miserable while we're forcing ourselves to think about our goals. And, when you're trying to create like an aesthetic collage, you want to be having a good time. You want to be trying to be in a good headspace where you're kind of enjoying the process and really thinking about what each picture represents as well. Because when I look at my vision board now, if someone asked me what each picture meant, I could tell them really easily. Um, like the bottom right one is because I want to journal more because I know it helps me. The bottom left one is I want to do a better job with, keeping up with household tasks and being organized. The one that I'm working on now is walking, like I talked about few minutes ago. I want to get more movement in, and then I have a picture on here too of like, really finding my personal style. I guess I don't feel like I need to find it, but I want to actually dress it because I work from home a lot now, and it can be really easy to not want to like dress up or put on a cute outfit, but I know I feel my best when I do. So yeah, but this is really coming along now. I'm adding in this book because I obviously wanted to get reading in there. And then I added in one of my sticker sheets as well that I thought would kind of fit. It's got like the sandy tones and like the greenish blue. And I wanted to put that on my vision board because working on my shop and having more releases is something that I really want to do in 2026. I have really missed having the time to work on that. So now I'm downloading, showing you. I do a PNG. I think that's just like for the best quality. But now we're going to be going into Microsoft Word after I save this to my computer. And you can use any sort of word processing software. It doesn't have to be Microsoft Word. But I insert the photo into here, and then we'll be taking a look in the top right once this photo gets loaded in. You can see the size of the height and the width, and I'm circling it with my mouse right now. I'm going to take these measurements down just a little bit because I want to make sure that the image is a little smaller than my planner pages. But now I'm going to print it, which is, pretty self-explanatory. But now we're going to be moving on to real time of me putting it into my planner. Okay, now that we've got this paper ready to go, I'm going to use my Cricut paper cutter to cut this out. Oh yeah, that was like almost perfect. Also, this is just way easier than using scissors. So if you have a paper cutter, I highly recommend it. I want to make sure that's flat. Okay. And then we'll flip it around to this side, do that, and this. Being I made the dimensions of this a little smaller than the A5 page of my planner, it will be able to fit just fine. So this is actually the first thing that I'm putting in here, which is really exciting. So I had planned for it to go here, and I think that's still where I'm gonna put it. I think that makes the most sense to me. Otherwise, maybe I put it on the front, so it's like the first thing that I see. I don't know, but now you can see that we've got, you know, extra room on the sides, being I sized this down. So let me think about where I want this, and then I'll be back. I made the decision that I'm gonna put that there, and then this is gonna go there, and now we don't need that. So let's grab the tape. I really like using the Tombow permanent adhesive tape runners. They just work really well. So I'm gonna make sure that I definitely have the corners taped up well. And then I'm just periodically placing more tape as I go down the side, because I don't want to run the tape all the way across because that feels a little wasteful, but I want to make sure that it sticks well. Okay, this stuff is very sticky, so once it's down, you're probably not getting it back up. I feel like I should make that clear, because yeah, once it's down, you're not getting it back up. Also, I'll have my Amazon storefront linked below, so if you want to purchase these, you can find them under like my planner supplies list or something like that, and I will get a small commission just to be transparent. You can also find my Tombow correction tape there too. This is my favorite whiteout ever. So now it's time to put it on, which I'm a bit nervous about. It's always nerve-wracking, and maybe we'll just use my dirty makeup bag to hold that side down. Okay, got a little bit of tape over on the other side, so I'm just gonna rub it off to make sure then it doesn't stick to my other page. But I think this is going to be really nice to have my vision board right at the front when I open my 2026 planner. Here it is, my vision board. If you have any questions on anything that I did, please let me know. This really can be a fun process. Try to make it, you know, as enjoyable as possible, because yes, it's thinking about goals that are hard work, but also this is supposed to be like a little arts and crafts thing that's fun, and it can help you visualize your goals throughout the year. So I highly recommend making one of these or doing some sort of collaging with like magazine photos that covers what your goals are for the year, but this just really helps me stay on track. So I recommend to everyone to try a vision board. If you found this video helpful or enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you are not already. I would really, really appreciate it. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.